Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahi wahdah, wassalatu wassalamu ala man la nabiyya ba'dah, amma ba'd. Fa'awudhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Fas'alu ahla dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. Sadaqallahu al-aliyyul azim wa sadaqa rasuluhu an-nabiyyul kareem. Everybody, please recite salawat in the court of the majestic Nabi, the greatest of all creations, the master of all creation, Sayyiduna Muhammadun al-Mustafa. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina wa Mawlana Muhammadin ma'adin al-judi wal-karam wa alihi wa barik wa sallim. I would like to welcome everyone to this program, which is a part of the 3-day Q&A session, and this second day is regarding Zakat and Islamic finance. This program is brought to you all by Muslim Dreamers with the support of the Al-Noor Youth and the Noori Masjid team of Plano, Texas. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make this program a means of learning for each and every one of us. We have with us today a great scholar of Islam, someone who has served the religion of Islam absolutely selflessly, and he delivered to the masses what is the true message that Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam brought to this earth, and what Sayyiduna Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam brought to its people. The scholar we have with us today is the Khalifah of Sayyiduna Taj al-Shariah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, and of Sayyiduna Muhaddith Kabeer hafizahullah ta'ala. He is the grandson of Sayyiduna Sadr al-Shariah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. And if someone wants to know how great this scholar's grandfather is, then you could see this in the fact that it is by his means that we find true and noble ulama in this century even. In this era, those individuals who are connected to the true knowledge, most of them you will find from the subcontinent, they are connected in one way or another to Sayyiduna Sadr al-Shariah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu. This scholar that we have with us today, he carries this ilm, this knowledge, this scholarship in his veins, in his genes, and we are going to benefit by him today. Our noble teacher, Mufti Faizan al-Mustafa Qadiri hafizahullah ta'ala, he would always tell us that do not allow language to be a barrier in your learning. And by this, he would encourage us to learn new languages in which we can find that message, which is the true message of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam. And he himself never saw language as a barrier to teach anyone. Despite living his life in India, he speaks the language of those who are in the West so that he can deliver the message to no matter who that person may be, just so the message of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam is reaching every single person, and every single person is being enlightened by this message. Tonight is the 27th night in the blessed month of Ramadan, and it is also a night which may be the blessed night of Laylatul Qadr. In Raddul Muhtar, it is mentioned that spending one moment discussing issues and matters of the religion is better than spending the entire night in worship. We have all gathered here today to benefit by learning rulings in the religion of Islam. Those who are viewing, I would like to request them to share this link so that most people can benefit by it. I would request them also to subscribe so you can benefit from future programs. And also, if anybody is having any trouble with the quality, they should turn the quality up so that their resolution in their viewing is better. I would like to invite the great and noble scholar, Mufti Faizan al-Mustafa Qadiri, hafizahullah ta'ala, to enlighten us with some words. And you can all start sending in the questions through the YouTube comment section and also the Zoom group chat as well. I would like to invite the noble scholar Mufti Faizan Mustafa Qadiri Hafizahullah Ta'ala.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli wa nusallimu ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. خذ من أموالهم صدقة تطهرهم وتزكيهم بها وصل عليهم إن صلاتك سكن لهم. آمنت بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا وشفيعنا وحبيبنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه دائما أبدا. I am feeling happy and pleased one more time being amongst all my US fellows, friends, lovers, students, and also elderly peoples. And today again, I am here available for you that you can ask me questions. And this Q&A session, as I feel and as I am taking, not to just educate you guys, but also educate myself, because it happens and I am really feeling that I am learning from questions of people. Sometimes it happens that people are asking me questions and my mind goes there, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps me and He gives me answer of those questions. Sometimes it happens that I, after the question, I go to study the books, and when I study the books in detail, that book benefits me a lot. So this Q&A session will benefit inshallah everyone, you and me and all of us. And again, one more time, I want to say that you are asking questions. If I know the answer, then I would give the answer. And if I do not know the answer, then I will take time so that I can answer you later, maybe tomorrow or any other time. And also one more thing that I want to say here, what angels said to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to them that uh, do the sajda to Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. And when Sayyid Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught Adam alayhi salatu wasalam the names of everything, and then he asked angels, you tell me the names of these things. And then they said, Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. Glory be to you. We do not have any knowledge except what you taught us. So whatever knowledge is there with anyone, that is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us more and more the knowledge. And the knowledge and ilm is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded His Messenger sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wa salam, Qur Rabbi zidni ilma, say, oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. So this is some dua, this is a dua that every single moment supposed to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, oh my Lord, increase me in knowledge. And learning something and educating himself, yourself, there is no boundary for this. There is no age limit. It goes from mahd to lahad. So today's topic is Islamic finance and zakat. As I said yesterday, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned the hukm of zakat combined with salat many places in Quran. He says, Aqimu salah wa atu zakah. Reason behind that is that the zakat is on the top of all financial act of worships. So after zakat, zakat is not the whole thing that we're supposed to spend, but there is so many things that we are involved, like doing investment and also spending money after zakat, that is sadaqatul fitr, that is qurbani, udhiyah, and also sadaqat wajibah, kafarat, and fidya of the fasting and fidya of other kafarat, and also like kafara of yamin qasam, that you took the qasam and you broke it, and also so many ways to spend your money as a sadaqah nafila. So all of you are welcome to ask your questions about anything of these. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about zakat, commanding Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam, khudh min amwalihim sadaqah tutahhiruhum wa tuzakkihim biha. Take sadaqah from their wealth, from the wealth of Muslims, that you purify them and make them clean with. وَصَلِّ عَلَيْهِمْ, and make dua for them. إِنَّ صَلَاتَكَ سَكَنٌ لَهُمْ. Indeed, your prayer, your dua is a peace for them. So the word that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said here, تُطَهِّرْهُمْ وَتُزَكِّهِمْ بِهَا, that means the sadaqah, and here sadaqah means the sadaqah wajibah, which is zakat. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to receive and to take zakat. That means zakat is not an optional act, but it is mandatory. So anyone who is wealthy, he has to spend a certain amount of a certain ratio of his money or of his wealth for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam to receive from them, so that if people are not spending the zakat, then the awliya ulul amr can give them calculation of their zakat and they take the zakat from them. One more thing he says, tutahhiruhum wa tuzakkihim biha, that you purify them with. That means this is the nature of zakat. If you do not give zakat and you store your whole money and you keep your money, then the amount that is zakat, this is actually a najis zakat for you, for the one that zakat is farz upon, and it will make the whole money najis, napak, impure, like a black money. For example, $100, in out of $100 you have to pay just 2.5%, so $2.50. So if you pay $2.50, that will make your $97.50 pure. And if you do not pay this much, then this will become impure and will make your whole money impure. That is the reason Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam said that zakat is not allowed on his family, on Banu Hashim. Once upon a time, Sayyidina Hassan Mushtaba, the beloved uh, grandson of Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam, he wanted to eat a piece of date that was brought to Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam as zakat, as sadaqah. So he was very young, a small child, and he didn't know. So he took one piece and he started eating it. Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam said, "Bakh, bakh," and Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam put his finger in his mouth and take it out. And he said, "This is najis and it is not allowed upon my family." That means zakat is najis for the one who is not deserving it, but does not mean it is najis for the one who is deserving it. So people supposed to understand that if they are not paying their zakat, they are losing the money. Shaitan convinces them that if they pay the money, they will lose that much money, though it is 2.5%, but it is not the truth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in many places in the Quran that whatever sadaqah and zakat you pay, it will increase in your money and it will increase in your wealth. And one place Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا يَحْسَبَنَّ الَّذِينَ يَبْخَلُونَ بما آتاهم الله من فضله هو خير لهم بل هو شر لهم. Those people who are being miserly with their wealth, whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them, they should not consider that this being miserly is better for them, but this is worse for them. One more place, وَالَّذِينَ يَكْنِزُونَ الذَّهَبَ وَالْفِضَّةَ وَلَا يُنْفِقُونَهَا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ فَبَشِّرْهُم بِعَذَابٍ أَلِيمٍ. This ayat says that the people who are storing, who are doing the kanz, means not spending, storing what? Zahab and fizza, the silver and the gold and silver, and they are not spending in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so they will get the painful torment, azab alim. And based upon these ayat, there is a hadith, and as ulama and fuqaha mentioned, that anything, any Muslim loses out of his property, out of his wealth, and the property of Muslim destroys, then it is just because he did not pay the zakat of it. That means if you pay 2.5% zakat, you would save 97.5% of your wealth. And if you do not pay this much money, then the whole property and the whole wealth might go in waste, might go in ruin, and can destroy. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us and also protect us from destroying our wealth and protect our wealth. Ameen. So now I am available. You can ask your questions, and inshallah I will try to see and think about your questions, and I will try to answer as per my knowledge.
Thank you for giving us this time, Hazrat. The first question that we have received is, what is the process of giving fidya? Can I pay fidya beforehand if I know that I will miss a future fast?
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What is the process of giving fidya? Fidya, fidya is, you can say ransom. Fidya is something that if you committed a mistake and if you could not pay something that is obligation upon you, you have to do it, and you didn't do it, then in some cases, in some masail, you have to give fidya. And fidya gives you recovery of whatever you missed. So the fidya of zakat, fidya of fasting, that is something that is mentioned in Quran Kareem. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, وَعَلَى الَّذِينَ يُطِيقُونَهُ فِدْيَةٌ طَعَامُ مِسْكِينٍ. Those people who do not have any strength and ability to fast, then they can pay the fidya of the food of one miskin. That means for one fast, one food of one miskin for one fast. But that is only for Shakhifani. Shakhifani means the one who is very old, such that he does not have any strength, any ability to observe fasting. Then he's supposed to pay fidya. This is one fidya. This is just a fidya that was mentioned in Quran. No any other fidya was mentioned for ahkam. Then after that, our ulama-i-kiram mentioned based upon this ayat that also for namaz and for zakat and for other wajibat that they missed and they did not get any chance to make them up, then at the end of their life, when they are almost thinking that they will not live anymore, then they can make a wasiyat to their warisin to pay fidya from them. But there is no way to pay fidya in their lifetime. Means the person in his own lifetime cannot pay fidya for anything, for namaz, for zakat, for hajj, for any kafara. But just one thing that he can pay as a fidya in his lifetime is the fidya of his fasting, roze ka fidya, nothing else. So the way to pay the fidya of his fasting is he can pay in the beginning of Ramadan, he can pay in the middle, he can pay later, but as soon as he pays, that will be better for him. But as you asked me, can I pay fidya beforehand if I know that I will miss a future fast? If you know that you will miss a future fast, if you mean the Shaykh Fani, very old person, then yes, he can pay in advance. But other than that, Shaykh Fani, like any sick person, any pregnant woman, any woman that is nursing her child, or anyone, etc., etc., anyone cannot pay fidya if he thinks or if he knows that he will miss a future fast. No, because fidya is only for Shaykh Fani. Reason behind that Shaykh Fani is someone, a very old person, who does not have any ability to fast, and he will not have any chance, he will not have any hope, any expectation that he can gain the strength. Then he's supposed to pay fidya. And all others, how you can say that he will not be able to fast in future? Because people are getting sick, and people are getting critically sick, and after a few days, after 1 week, and after a few months, they become recovered and they get their strength back. So there are chances that they can make the fastings up if they miss them. So if there is a chance to do the qada, then no fidya. That's why our ulama kiram said even about Shaykh Fani that he can pay fidya for his fastings, but by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, miraculously, anyway, if he gets the strength back and if he becomes able to fast, then all fidyas that he paid would be the fidya nafila, would be the sadaqah nafila, and he's supposed to make qaza again. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The second question we have received is, I need some clarification in detail who is liable to accept or receive zakat money.
Clarification in detail. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Quran, إِنَّمَا الصَّدَقَاتُ لِلْفُقَرَاءِ وَالْمَسَاكِينِ, all the way in Surah Tawbah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned 8 people, 8 groups. Out of them, 7 groups are still eligible to receive zakat. And Fuqaha Ikram mentioned those people who can receive zakat. But one thing in all of them is that they are poor. Anyone who is not poor, he cannot receive zakat, except one person who is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالْعَامِلِينَ عَلَيْهَا. And that happens that when there is a state of Islam and Muslim ruler, a Bashahi Islam, Muslim king, Khalifa, he appoints someone to receive zakat from Muslims. That person is acting for this purpose, that is amil, that is worker for zakat. Not any worker for collection of zakat today, but that one is the worker that was appointed from Khalifa, from Badshah Islam. Though he is a rich person, he will take zakat, like Badshah Islam and Khalifa will give him his wage, his ujrat, his salary from the zakat. Though he is wealthy person, he is rich person. Beyond this, all those people who are deserving to receive zakat, they have to be needy, they have to be not rich. One more person that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that wal gharimin wabn sabil. And wabn sabil means the one who is not with his money, he is out of his station, he is out of his country or out of his city, an stranger, a traveler. So though he has money in his own hometown, but he has no money with him now, so he can receive zakat too. So the main thing is in this masla that a person who is not sahib nisab, he is a poor. So people supposed to understand one thing, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned sometime masakin and sometime fuqara. Fuqara and masakin. Difference between fuqara and masakin: miskin is the one who does not have anything to eat, even the food of today. Miskin is something destitute, miskin. He has nothing with him. He has nothing at all. That is miskin. And faqir is the one who is not a rich, who is not sahib nisab. So the one who has food of today, who has food of several days, but he is not having such money that makes him a rich. I mean, he is not sahib nisab. He does not have 7.5 tola of gold or 52.5% tola silver or any much money equivalent to this. If he has that much money, he is rich. If he does not, then he is poor. He can receive zakat. So main thing for this, that anyone who is not sahib nisab, he can receive zakat. He is deserving to get zakat. But a Banu Hashim, anyone out of the family, anyone belongs to the family of Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam, whether he is Sayyid or not, whether he is from the Al of Sayyidina Ali ibn Abi Talib or anyone from Banu Hashim, he cannot get zakat, though he is poor. People are asking the question, what should we do if there is a Sayyid and he is poor? If he cannot pay zakat to him, then how would he survive? The answer given to this question by Ala Hazrat is that Muslims should serve the Sadat-e Kiram with their own money, not with zakat money. And in more detail, you can pay your zakat to anyone except any Sayyid or Hashmi, except anyone out of your family. And family means here that your father, your mother, your grandfather, your grandmother, your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter, and also your spouse. This much relatives cannot be deserving your zakat. And all other relatives, they are deserving your zakat. You can pay your zakat to your brother, your sister, to your uncle, auntie, and others. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question we have received is, what is the easiest way to calculate zakat? Also, me and my wife earn separately from our jobs, so do we have to pay one zakat as a family or two zakats separately?
Let me answer this question first. That me and my family, me and my wife earn separately from our jobs. So do we pay one zakat as a family or two zakat separately? You can pay your zakat as a family altogether, but this would be only if you know that your earning year starts at the same time. Because one thing as a condition of farziyat zakat, hawlani hawl, when the year completes. So if husband started making money and he has as much money as it's sufficient for nisab, and the same time the wife also got that much money, then their year started together, and their year will be ending together. So the zakat will be further upon them together, so they can pay together. If it is not the truth, if it is not the thing, but their year is starting and ending back and forth, then zakat becomes first right on the dot, right on the completion of the year. And then, as Fuqaha Kiram said, it is not allowed to delay. So let's see the zakat time, zakat year completed of the husband in Shaban, and for the wife in Ramadan. So the husband is delaying 1 month. This is not allowed. So basically, zakat of every single person is due upon him, not as a family obligation, but it is a personal obligation. So husband supposed to pay his own zakat and a wife supposed to pay her own zakat, and they are responsible for their own zakat. But anyway, if they want to pay zakat together and their year is not matching with each other, then the one whose year is not completed yet, he or she can pay her zakat or his zakat in advance. In this way, they can pay their zakat together. And the first part of the question, what is the easiest way to calculate zakat? Just calculate, combine all of your wealth, as much gold you have, as much silver you have, as much jewelry you have, and as much money you have in cash, in hand, in bank, or in any policy, in any account, any FD, any form that you can get in future. So calculate all of them. And if you have a business, you are selling something, you have mal tijarat, calculate the value of those all inventory and make total, and whatever is total, take out 2.5% of the whole amount. Take out 2%, 2.5% of the whole amount, and that would be zakat of your wealth. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
I would like to remind the viewers to keep sharing the link so that most people can subscribe from this program, so most people can benefit from this program. And I would also like to remind everyone to like and also subscribe to the channel so that they can benefit from future programs as well. The next question is, do I have to mention that the money I am giving is for zakat when handing it to someone who deserves it?
No, you don't have to mention, because if you are mentioning that this is zakat, the time you are giving to the other person, then he might feel bad. Some people are feeling bad though they are deserving zakat. And remember, zakat is not impure, zakat is not bad if the person is receiving and he is deserving it. The zakat money is bad only for Sadat Kiram, for Banu Hashim, and also for the one who is rich. Rich person cannot receive zakat. So if you are mentioning to him, maybe he is deserving, he is poor, and he would not be ready to receive zakat, and that would be damaging his expenses and his family. So better not to mention, but you don't have to mention at all. Actually, the person who is paying zakat, he has to have his intention. The intention is main thing that makes your zakat as a zakat. But you have to have your intention, and intention is something supposed to be in the heart. You should know that you are paying zakat. This is intention. So intention supposed to be with you. You don't have to tell your intention that this is zakat money. And also our fuqaha kiram said that even if give to your zakat any other name, still zakat would be good, and it would be okay to pay zakat. It will be valid to pay zakat. For example, if someone comes to you to take the loan for some other purpose, then as a loan, and you know he is needy person, you can give zakat to him, and you can say just it is a loan. So for your zakat, you can give any title. You can say that this is Eidi, this is a gift, this is Hadiya, this is loan, this is birthday gift, this is any other day gift. So you can give any title. You Don't have to mention this is zakat, but better not to mention that this is zakat, so that it will be beneficial for everyone. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is, what if I'm not sure someone is deserving of zakat and feel bad for asking? Can I give them my zakat anyways?
Actually, the person you want to pay zakat to him, he has to be, he's supposed to be needy person, deserving person of zakat. And how would you know? By, like, apparently, appearances. You don't have to know in deep and actual position. But if you think that by his appearances he is not wearing good clothes, that means he is not having enough money. His house is not good. He does not go to eat in restaurants. He is not living luxurious life. Looks like he is a poor man. This much is enough to pay zakat to him, though he is not deserving if you go to actual uh, his financial position. So if you feel bad to ask him and you think that he is poor, he is faqir, you can pay zakat to him and your zakat would be valid. But if you know afterwards anyway that he is not a poor, he is rich, but the time you paid zakat to him in that situation that you thought he is poor, it is sufficient. But after that, when you came to know that he is not a poor, he is a rich, after that you cannot pay zakat to him. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
If someone is in debt, does he have to give zakat?
That is based upon his total value, total value of his wealth. Someone is in debt, that means he all property, all money and inventory in his business, and silver and gold and all jewelries that he has in his ownership, the total value is involved in the debt. That if he pays the debt and after that the qadr and nisab will not remain in his control, in his ownership, then he is not required to pay zakat. Zakat is not farz upon him. But if he pays all his debt from his jewelries and gold and silver and all deposits that he has in bank account, after that, if there would be something safe, and that is qadr nisab, then he has to pay zakat. For example, Zayd has $5,000 in his bank account, and there is debt upon him. The value of the debt is $3,000. Then he's supposed to pay zakat on remaining $2,000. That would be a best example to understand this situation. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is that, can I rent my building out to someone who will use it as a shop to sell alcohol or pork?
Uh, if you know that he would use your building for this purpose, then it is not allowed for you to rent, give on rent. No, because they will be helping something that is haram. But if you do not know and you gave your property on rent and then he is using your property on these kinds of act that is haram, then you are not responsible. This is his own act. So what Fuqaha Kiram said, that renting to someone, giving your property to someone who would use your property for bad things, it is haram when you know that this is his profession. As Fuqaha Ikram mentioned, an example that giving your property, your apartment to a lady who is zania, who is prostitute, and this is her profession, it is not allowed. But if it is not her profession, if it is not his profession or her profession, and it is okay to give on rent. And after that, if he or she does any act of haram, then he or she is responsible, you are not responsible. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is, are we allowed to invest in stocks?
The easy and one line example for this question is no. And actually this question is very hard question, because if you go to the stock market, there's a lot of variations in that. Not everything is haram, but some of them are definitely halal and would be allowed to invest in them. For example, that you are investing your money in a company, and you know the people controlling the company, handling the company, and they, you know that they will invest your money in business, like in manufacturing company, like making mobile phone or making the cars, motors, and these things are using, they will be using this in crops and other thing that is halal. And the deal between you and that company is that whatever benefit would be, a certain ratio of the benefit will go to you, then it would be halal. But how would you know this much knowledge? You don't know, you cannot trust them. So you can say 95% of the companies and whatever is going on in stock, they are based upon casino, alcohol and pork and haram things, and so many things are sood and riba involved in it. That's why better to say you should not invest your money in stocks, and take whatever money you invested in the stock, you're supposed to take it out as soon as possible and do your own business or make your own company and make your own, like a company business. This is why, this is how you can make more money. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is regarding YouTube ads. On YouTube, you are given the option, if you have a certain amount of subscribers or a certain amount of views, that you can allow the YouTube company to put ads on your YouTube videos. And then from those YouTube ads that they put, you can earn some money from them. But you do not have much control on what they show in the ads. It could be of something haram, or it could be something that is promoting something which is impermissible. So the question is, are we allowed to earn from YouTube ads?
I would say better to stay away from these things. If you do not know that what would they present as an ad, and you know most of the ads are based upon haram thing, that ladies and pictures of ladies are involved. So I would say you should not make money from YouTube ads. Better to stay away from these things. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is it permissible to buy a home on mortgage in the USA? A certain amount of interest is charged when making payments.
Uh, Actually, uh, just for home mortgage, it is allowed. Though you have to pay a certain amount of interest, but to buy a home, it is considered to be a basic need. People cannot stay, cannot live without home. So to get a home on mortgage, paying a certain amount of interest, it is allowed, and there is a fatwa of Huzur Taj al-Shariah alayhi rahmatu rizwan on this. So one thing should be in mind, that whatever interest is paid in the West, that is not riba, that is not sood. And I would explain inshallah in later, so in detail. So it is not a riba, but anyway, you are not allowed, a Muslim is not allowed to pay extra money, extra charge, and extra interest to any company or any bank in the West until it is needed. And one form of need is this, that every Muslim needs to have a home, and there is no way to get a home without getting it on mortgage, because usually people do not have that much cash in their hand, so they go to the bank, and this is how they get the home on mortgage. It is allowed to them, not a problem. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is, how is it to buy and sell virtual property, such as ebooks and online courses, etc.?
Actually, this is based upon the nature of the e-books and virtual property. They are considered to be mal or not. So since e-books, what is in my mind, that it is not a mal. Mal is something that you can store in your control, and you can use it anytime you need. And if this is such a thing that you can store in your control and you can use it anytime that you need, then it would be mal, and you can definitely buy and sell. Otherwise, you cannot buy and sell these type of things. For example, virtual property like a Bitcoin, it is not a mal. That was decided by a group of fuqaha ikram. So better to stay with something that is available for free, because spending some money on something that is not a mal, that is not a property, it is not allowed. And inshallah, uh, we will discuss this masala in more detail after having a little bit research of this masala, inshallah. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is, can we purchase a building through a loan which involves interest for the purpose of starting a masjid or an Islamic center?
For Islamic center and to make a masjid, these source of getting money would not be allowed basically. But as I already told you, as I already said, that to get the loan from any bank, though they are charging a certain amount of interest, but that interest is not riba, that interest is not sood, which is haram. And still a Muslim cannot pay extra amount to any bank usually until it is needed. So the answer of this question would be from me, that in an area there is no masjid, there is no Islamic center, and without masjid and without Islamic center, it becomes very hard for Muslim families to stay on deen, especially in US, in Western countries, because masajid and Islamic centers are making people and Muslim families connected to Islam and connected to deen. So Islamic centers and masajid are very important. So if there is no any masjid, no any Sunni masjid, and no any Sunni Islamic center, then it is definitely a need. And since it is need, and there is no way to get the money to have the masjid or Islamic center, then as I am, as to me, from my side, it is okay to get money from bank, though you have to pay such some amount of interest. Wallahu ta'ala alam bisawab.
The next question is it permissible to exaggerate the harm and loss caused by a car accident in order to receive more money from an insurance company? Would one have to return the money if he did lie? How can one do tawbah from this?
uh, no, you cannot exaggerate. Actually, making a false statement to make money, this is called doing ghadr, dhoka, deception, lying. To make any money through lie, through deception, through giving dhoka, that money is not a pure money. That is money is not your money. You don't deserve it. If you receive some money through this way, you have to return it to the owner of the money. So just people are lying to get money, more money from car accident, from insurance company. No, it is not allowed. They can show and tell what is actual harm and actual loss. And if the company gives you that much money, that would be halal for you. And there would be some more discussion that this much is also halal or not. But what I said, it is halal after the company gave it to you, but after making a truth statement, not any lie, not any deception. And at the end you said, would one have to return the money if he did lie? Of course, because that money is not yours. So you're supposed to return it. And in the case the company is not receiving, then you can give that money to anyone, any poor, etc. Anyone, XYZ. And that money should not be in your ownership, should not be spent upon you. How can one do tawbah from this? He or she supposed to do tawbah from this, but only tawbah would not be sufficient, but the money, the amount that he received by false statement, by lying, supposed to, that much money is supposed to go back to the real owner, and then make tawbah. Tawbah, because our Rasul Kareem alayhi salatu wasalam and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not allow to lie. So tawbah is supposed to be because you broke the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you went against the Sharia law. So tawbah for this. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is I have some student loan also, and in the past, I have received money from my family to do business, but that business is no more and I lost all the money. Do I pay zakat on it?
Uh, you're supposed to see how much is in your hand, because you said the money you received from your family, all that money was lost. So there's supposed to be something in your control. There's supposed to be some wealth in your bank account or in your business or in your control, in your hand, to pay zakat on it. If you do not have anything in your control now and everything is lost, then there is no zakat due upon you. So whatever you received in past, that is not calculated now until you were having enough money in past, and after completion of year, zakat became due upon you in the past years, and the past year's zakat is due upon you and you did not pay, so that much zakat would be still due upon you, and you have to pay zakat that is already due for previous years. Though you do not have enough money now, you're supposed to make money and pay that past due zakat. Maybe this is the question, and if the point of the question is different, then explain so that I can answer other way. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
The next question is in regards to calculating zakat specifically for savings. How do I calculate a full year? I currently just check my bank account. Let's say every 10th of Ramadan per year, I figure out the money I have and take 2.5% of that and pay zakat on it. Is this correct?
Let me explain one more point of the previous question, that you said I have a student loan. So if you have anything as a loan, and the loan means you have to give that much money back to the company, back to the bank, though after several years, the whole amount, if you have to pay the whole amount, then the whole amount is not a zakat amount, means not a subject to zakat, because that is a debt, and whatever is debt, that is not actually your money, so you are not required to pay zakat on your student loan. Wallahu ta'ala alam bisawab. Here, in regards to calculating zakat especially, yes, you do not have to calculate every month. You don't have to calculate every month. Actually, the person supposed to be sahib nisab. So the easy way to understand this masla, let me explain. Actually, the amount, the money that you can buy 52.5 tola of silver, and I think if you calculate the value of the silver nowadays, then it would be something between $400 and $500. So people in the Western countries, they are usually sahib nisab if they do not have loan upon them bigger than their whole savings. So you know that you became sahib nisab, you have even $1,000, just $500-600 or $1,000 in your bank, that is your saving, and then your year started. And after the completion of the year, if there was some amount of money, though even $1, there's supposed to be any amount in that money in the middle of the year. At the end of the year, you supposed to see and check what is the amount now, and whatever is the amount, that time you're supposed to pay zakat on it, 2.5%. That is the correct way to calculate. So again, if you see that you have enough money to be sahib nisab, and that is $500-600 as a saving, you have either in your hand or in your bank deposit, in your bank account, or in the form of jewelry, you are sahib nisab. And the time you had that much money, that is actually a starting point of your year. And when the same date and the same time comes next year, that is completion of your year. And that time, just check your bank account and figure out all total, and whatever is the total that time at the completion of the year, you're supposed to pay zakat on it, taking out 2.5%. And this is correct way. Wallahu ta'ala alam bisawab.
The final question, Hazrat, because we are running out of time. is that if we have some gold or jewelry that we are holding on to and plan on giving it to someone, do we have to pay zakat on that jewelry?
Yes, you have to pay zakat. Actually, planning something is not ownership, is not actually losing the ownership. Zakat is first upon someone who owns any property like gold, silver, money, etc. that I mentioned. And you are planning to spend in some way or give to someone as a gift or give to your daughters in jahez at the time of wedding. This is your plan, and zakat becomes first at the completion of your year on everything that you own. So since you are owning that much zakat, that much money, you have to pay zakat, though you are planning anything. Wallahu ta'ala a'lamu bis-sawab.
We would like to thank you for your time, Hazrat. Uh, and also, I would like to remind the viewers to share the link and also subscribe so that people can benefit from the program that is tomorrow. Tomorrow's program will be an open question and answer session. You can ask even the questions that we missed in these two sessions. If you have those questions, you can ask those tomorrow as well. We would like to request Hazrat to make dua. And we would also like to remind everyone that this program was brought to you by Muslim Dreamers, the An-Noor Youth of Houston, Texas, and Noori Masjid of Plano, Texas. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward these teams as well for their efforts in bringing us this program.
الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا تقبل منا هذه الحفلة. اللهم بارك لنا في أسئلتنا وأجوبتنا. اللهم تجاوز عن كل ما فعلته إن كان خطأ इन काना सवाबन फ़तक़ब्बलहु मिन्नी। या अल्लाह, ये सवाल व जवाब का सेशन इसमें बरकतें अता फरमा, और जितने लोग इसमें शरीक हैं इस प्रोग्राम को आगे बढ़ाने में, इसको ऑर्गेनाइज़ करने में, और जितने भी सामीन और व्यूवर्स हैं इसमें शरीक, या अल्लाह सब के लिए इसे बाइस बरक़ात, बाइस हसनात और बाइस खैरात और बाइस निजात बना। सबको दीन दुनिया में तरक्की अता फरमा, दीन पर इस्तेक़ाम अता फरमा, और अपने हबीब करीम रऊफ़ुर रहीम सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम की सच्ची महब्बत नसीब फरमा। बार बार या अल्लाह मदीने मुनव्वरा की बाअदब हाज़िरी नसीब फरमा। वालिदैन का खिदमत गुज़ार बना, बड़ों का अदब करने वाला, छोटों पर शफ़क़त करने वाला बना। व सल्लल्लाहु तआला अला खैर खल्क़ी सय्यिदिना मुहम्मदिन व आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि अजमईन। आमीन बिरहमतिका या अरहमर राहिमीन। बिहक़्क़ि ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह मुहम्मदुर रसूलुल्लाह।